Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Hello and welcome to this video. This is episode 4, season 2, part 2, The Call of the Void. Hope everyone's enjoying everything. I hope everyone is checking out the links in the description below. We are going to be picking up. I rewounded it just a little bit. Rewound it, not rewounded it. Rewounded it sounds crazy, but I did say it multiple times. But we're going to go into the interview that she talked about in part 1. And we'll go from there. Like I said, I did slide it back a little bit, so there's going to be a little bit of overlay.
That's it. I'm going to play that recording for you now. Are you comfortable?
Yes, thank you.
Great. So if you could relate your present condition for the recording.
I like the use of a voice modulator. I think that's kind of cool to keep the anonymity of the person being interviewed. That's kind of cool.
What does that mean?
How do you feel?
Oh, right. I feel fine. Normal.
No headaches, anything like that?
Nothing like that, no.
And you've been sleeping?
Yes, everything's normal.
Good. Let me state for the record, patient 612, male, 31, resting heart rate, blood pressure, and body temperature all fall within normal parameters.
Which, I don't know. I don't know how they make that call, because I know, like, when I'm healthy, feeling good and stuff, like, my body temperature is a little bit lower than normal. And like my heart rate and stuff is a little bit below normal, but I don't know what the medical leeway is as far as healthy, not healthy. There's a problem. He just has a little bit low blood pressure, a little bit low body temp, a little bit, that would be something worth checking into, I guess. Maybe I might do it between episodes. I don't know.
What I'm going to do right now is explain a little about the session.
It's like mind reading or something, right?
I'll brief you quickly now, and if you have any questions, please hold them till I'm finished.
Sure.
Great. So what we're going to be doing today...
I hate when people do that. Save your questions till I'm finished, because I have a bad habit of forgetting questions unless I write them down. So yeah, that's just kind of a personal thing for me.
Today is holding a path card session, and the guiding principle behind our session is going to be intuition. You've been chosen because you indicated that you've experienced some impulse thinking and lucid dreaming in the past. What I'm going to be asking you to do is simple. I'm going to ask you to shuffle a deck of 12 cards and pick the top card up with your left hand and flip it over. Any questions so far?
That's it?
That's the first step. What comes next is up to you.
What do you mean?
Once you've flipped over the first card, I'm going to ask you to choose some aspect or element of that card, something to lead you somewhere.
Where?
And this, I think this here, we get to see it like a whole session play out. And I know throughout the series, our protagonist uses the path cards. But I think this is kind of foreshadowing, giving us an idea of kind of what her adventure is going to be.
Anywhere.
I'm not sure I understand.
I want you to examine the card for a moment and then tell me what you see.
I think I can do that.
Great. Let's shuffle up and get started. Now, using your left hand, if you could grab a card from anywhere in the deck and flip it over on top of the other cards.
Okay.
Good. So could you read the name of that card out loud?
The world.
The world. There are a number of different meanings connected to this card from a fortune-telling point of view, but we're focusing on finding your path at the moment.
I don't understand.
Well, the primary purpose of the path cards is to plot a journey or ask a question.
Well, it is looking like I need to reconfigure OBS or probe around my camera's settings to see what's going on. Sorry about the locking up, and we're just going to have to deal with it till I can sit and have time to debug it. I'll probably have to delete OSB and reinstall it, so we'll see how that goes. But let's get back into this.
Is that part of the study?
Absolutely. We need you to follow your path.
Then that's totally fine with me as long as I get paid.
Got a little bit of overlap there.
I'm up for pretty much anything.
Great. Then I look forward to hearing from you soon. Patient 612. Could you please describe what you believe happened?
You know what happened.
I'm not sure that I do.
I came back and things were different.
And that's never a good thing.
Please tell me what happened in your own words.
I already told you and you already know what happened.
In your own words, please.
Dude, you want to get paid for this. Do what the woman tells you.
In my own words? Fine. In my own words, the world I came back to after you made me use those fucking cards was not the world that I left behind.
I don't know if anyone's ever had that phenomenon. I know I had a couple times where I went into somewhere familiar. This happened a couple times when I was still working as a corrections officer, of there just being something wrong. You don't know what it is, can't figure it out, not really sure, but there's just something that's wrong and you have no idea what it is.
From the Public Radio Alliance and Minnow Beats Whale, you're listening to Rabbits.
The second intro, about 12 minutes in. I keep forgetting about that. That's how they did that in the second season.
I'm Riley Bennett. Stay with us.
Separating biology and behavioral sciences from architecture is a big mistake.
And I do like the music, so we got that little musical interlude. Plus, I was making sure that the video wasn't locking up. I have no idea what causes that.
At the end of our last episode, we heard about another remarkable path card session. In Seattle in 1949, a man named Mallory Klimt, while working under Kellen Meacham's guidance, reportedly used path cards to enter another world. Klimt went on to claim that not only had he been able to access another world, but that he'd been able to repeat the feat numerous times. He'd been able to do this because he'd used his path card experience along with a number of other pattern recognition techniques.
Which is interesting because pattern recognition is kind of what we do as a species. I mean, let's look at language or words, letters. They're just symbols that invoke a vocal sound when we see it, like the letter C, letter A, or T. Cat. Or when you put them together, you get cat. You recognize that pattern of those symbols that mean this furry little animal. And that's basically what we do as a species. We learn patterns, we recognize patterns, and it just makes for an all-around interesting experience. If you start boiling things down to patterns, like I love word searches. I love word searches. But when I do word searches, I don't look for the word. Like if the word is bread, I'm not looking for the word bread. I'm looking for the symbols BREAD in a order that forms, whether it's up, down, left, right, angled up, angled down. I'm looking for that pattern of symbols, and for me it makes the crosswords easy. So yeah, the whole pattern recognition thing is kind of what we do as humans.
And applications to create a map. By using his map, Klimt claimed he'd found a way to pass through our world into another place that was almost identical, except for a few minor details. I've been unable to find any concrete collaborating details about Mallory Klimt or patient 612.
And that's interesting. The interest piques my interest that they can't find corroborating evidence. So what do? I mean, this is Mandela effect, boom. And it's there, the multiverse, Mandela effect, all that just right here,
But I did find something on the research scientist we heard on that recording, Dr. Zoe Yanich. Dr. Yanich died under mysterious circumstances when she swerved directly into oncoming traffic while driving alone at night along I-5.
Yeah, that's some Aaron Brockovich stuff going on right there.
Thankfully, the man driving the truck that Dr. Yanich had hit head-on, and everybody in the handful of other cars involved in the incident, escaped serious injury. Dr. Yanich died immediately upon impact with the enormous Kenworth truck. She was survived by her husband and parents. She was 42 years old. The police were unable to find anything mechanically wrong with her car. There were no drugs or alcohol in her bloodstream, and by all reports, she'd been feeling fine and had a solid 8 hours of sleep the night before. She'd never experienced any mental health issues, and nobody in her circle of family and friends, many of them mental health professionals, believed she was suicidal.
And that's interesting, how things like that work out. In this case, for the bad, it's just kind of interesting how the human mind reacts, what the human mind does in situations that it would not normally do. That's all building this mystery.
So what happened to Dr. Yanich? Had she been distracted by something? Was it a case of bad luck and timing as she looked away for just a moment? Or was it something else? Was it maybe the call of the void?
Call of the void, or maybe something nefarious. We may never know. We might know, but we might not want to look at it.
I discovered something interesting connected to Dr. Yanich's death. I found it on a Reddit thread about rabbits. Whether it's true or not is unclear.
I want to pause for a second just to say that Reddit is kind of like YouTube. You can find just about anything you're looking for, whether it be benign to the ludicrous to the highly illegal. If it's out there, it's probably on Reddit, YouTube, or the darknet.
But there's a photograph allegedly taken from a police report. In that photograph are some of the items that were found in Dr. Yanich's car the night of the accident. Included among those effects, a deck of path cards.
Yeah, this is where we start getting into the cosmic retribution, cosmic reward, whole balance of egos and cosmic forces.
There are a bunch of cards visible in the photograph, all of them upside down, save one. It's worth noting here that there are two minor variations in common path card decks. The first is that the realm of sleep is occasionally referred to as the world of dreams. The second is that the wanderer is sometimes referred to by another name. It was a card featuring this variation on that name which was visible, face up, in the photograph allegedly taken of the interior of Dr. Yanich's car after the accident.
Okay, here is the card for the realm of sleep. Hopefully there's not too much glare on that.
Accident that took her life. That card was called the Traveler. So, that's quite a coincidence.
And here is the Traveler card. Hopefully there's not too much glare on it. Okay.
Coincidence, isn't it? Another reference to the Traveler. What could this possibly mean? Did it have to mean anything? If you've listened to the first season of Rabbids, or done any other research into the game, you'll understand that an important tenet in the game is that there are no such things as coincidences. Or, rather, coincidences exist, but when they start to show up in bunches while you're playing the game, it's most likely the game taking notice.
Now, that goes to my long-held adage of, yes, there are coincidences, I just don't believe in them. Or I don't trust them. I don't trust them.
And if you're not already playing, coincidences appear in bunches when you're close to discovering a way in, when you're getting closer to playing. Find the game. Play the game. While I was sitting in my living room trying to figure out what to do next, I received a call from the magician.
Riley Bennett?
Hey, sorry about...
Yeah, the magician. One of my favorite characters throughout all of the Rabbids universe. I would love for him to get his own little spin-off. So yeah, if people out there who are responsible for this great podcast, if you're seeing this or watching this, let's contemplate a rabbit season centered around the magician. Just, to make me happy.
Not picking up the first time, I didn't recognize the number.
I had to switch phones.
Okay, so what's up?
I wanted to reiterate my request. It's important that you stop what you're doing.
I understand that's your position. You have to understand mine. I'm trying to find out what's going on.
Right, but that's irresponsible. People are in real danger.
Forgive me for saying this, especially to you, as I'd like nothing more than to maintain a positive relationship, but I'm gonna need more.
You know what Carly Parker said to me the last time I spoke with her?
What?
Carly told me that she was going to finally end it.
Now, what exactly does she mean by end it?
End what?
I'm not sure.
Did she say anything else?
Yes.
What?
She asked me if I knew where to find the Traveler.
The Traveler? Who's that?
I don't know, and that's what I told Carly.
What did she say?
She told me that she needed to find somebody called the Traveler and wanted to know if I had any advice.
Which takes us back to the Traveler card. Right here. Oh wow, we've locked up again. So let's restart this. Okay, we're back again, and as I was saying, this brings us back to the Traveler card. Here, once again for your viewing pleasure, this is the card we're fixated on, or the show's fixated on.
Then what happened? Nick Silver told me that Carly said she was taking a step back from the game, uninterested in exploring further, I think. I think that's how he put it.
If that's true, I guess she took a step way back. Has Nick been able to get in touch with her?
I don't think so, no. Did something specific happen to Carly? Something that pulled her back into the game?
Maybe.
And we'll go ahead and call this episode here good. Like I said, I hope you're enjoying everything. I dearly apologize for the lockups on OBS. And normally I'd go back and refilm it, debug everything, go back and refilm it. I am not making words real well today. I would normally go back and redo it, but with just the nature of this particular podcast, I figured I'd leave in all the lockups and freeze ups just because it jives with the momentum of the show. So everyone, be good humans, be good to other humans, be a good person. Peace.
Hey, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?